Hello, my name is 𝗦𝗽𝗲𝗶𝗫𝗂𝗃. Today we'll be unlocking apps on demand with app volumes and AVD app attach. I'm excited to show you some of the things that we've been doing with Microsoft to bring you an elevated app management experience. Before we get started, I want to talk a little bit about why we're doing this. Each one of these dots represents a change in an application provided by the vendor. This is usually due to some sort of security updates or functionality that the vendor has released. If you make changes for each one of these app updates, you can see the line that goes diagonally across the chart. That's showing you that almost just with 9 applications and 1 operating system, you can see almost 1 change every business day of the year. That's a lot of entropy. And so we want to be able to make these changes. We want to stay current on these because of the security vulnerabilities and risks to the environment, but also making those changes introduces risk as well. So being able to have a solution where you can easily roll out a change and, more importantly, easily roll it back is paramount for your environment. We can do this today with a more modern way. Before I show you the modern way, let's take a look at the traditional model. You can see in the traditional model, all the applications are kept on the same C drive with the image. All the changes, all the registry keys and file system is all merged together with all of these applications. With a more modern model using Omnissa app volumes, you can see each application is in its own package, and we're able to bring those applications to the machine in real time as the users launch and need those applications. Let's take a look at what that means for AVD app attach. In AVD app attach, where it says app attach package, which will soon say app volumes package, you can see that I'm able to go into my app volumes console where I can manage the applications. Before I show you the actual management of it, let me show you how easy it is to connect your app volumes management console to your AVD environment. So I can name my integration. In this case, I'll call it Omnissa RG. And you can see here's the resource group name that I'm giving it as well. And then I can add a client secret. I can add a tenant ID and application client ID. And that's it. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit add. It's going to go ahead and make the connection to that environment and link the two together. And now they're linked. So let's go take a look at that environment. I had a notepad package. If I refresh, now that application, is now available. Now what we're going to do is we're going to provide a reference to that application irrespective of the versions or the individual packages that make up that application. And the reason that's key is we can make lifecycle changes to that application without having to come in and do additional actions in AVD with regards to those packages. So I'm going to go ahead and assign this once. I'm assigning Notepad++ in this case. And what I'm going to see is that I've assigned it to this AVD user. And if I've logged in and looked at that user, you can see they've gone ahead and actually launched Notepad already. And I'll see that I've got, in this particular version, you can see about Notepad++ is 866. Now, what if I want to roll out a change to 867? I can do that very quickly. So I go back into my app volumes console where I'm managing my packages, and I flip it over from Notepad++ 866 to set current on 867. And rollback is just as easy. You can just move that marker back and forth as easy as you'd like. And what that means is the next time a user launches that application, and I'll go ahead and log into a new machine to show you 867. When I log in, you can see if I go to Notepad++ and I launch that application, it's going to, in real time, deliver that application, and I'm going to get 867. So I'll go check that, and I should see about Notepad++, and there it is, 867. So updating applications is very easy. Additional actions are not required in AVD, so your app packagers and your app owners of those applications can manage those applications independent of the entitlements that are being done in AVD. Now, how do we make this work? Well, it has to do with that package format. App volumes allows you to have that 99% app compatibility that we've seen from customers. And that format is available to you. In this case, it's a VHD. We also have VMDK for our vSphere environments, and newly an MSI format, which works well with Intune and other delivery solutions like UEM. And so this gives you the capability of being able to deploy those packages, the same format packages across multiple environments. But in the case of VHDs here, we also can bring in MSIX, app attach, as a VHD and manage those as well. So you can have app attach side by side. So for example, MS Teams already has a vendor distributed MSIX. You can leverage that alongside your app volumes ones that are very easy to package. And I'll show you how easy it is in a second. And then finally, we have ThinApp, which allows you to be able to do special things around isolation. I like to think of it as the flathead screwdriver in the toolbox. Sometimes you need to open up a paint can. And literally, you can take those thin apps. They come with the runtime already in the package, and you can drop them in an app vault and deliver them the same way. So let's take a look at how easy it is to package an app. It's really just an app capture exe/new. Let it see what the application install looks like. In this case, using a silent installer, and then do an app capture/end. In fact, you can even take in V format and convert it to a package from AppV parameter and feed it an AppV file as well. And this is particularly important since the end of life is coming soon in 2026. Now let's take a look at how you actually would do this and show you in real time how the app capture works. So I'm going to do an app capture exe/new, and this time I'll do Notepad++. I have a create MSI parameter. I'm going to show you that as well. But you can see that with that, it's going to include also an MSI in there. So I'm going to go ahead and run the installer that I just happened to grab already. And what that's going to do is it's going to actually lay down the registry key and file system for that particular application. And we're going to capture that in its installed state so that we can later deliver it in real time. And so I reboot the machine. This again helps with that 99% app compatibility because we're able to, on a reboot, in case there's any files that are left down on or any registry keys, we're able to capture those and make sure that those are also included with the package. So what's going to happen is we'll log in, and we'll see here when we log in that it's actually finishing up and even wrapping an MSI with the VHD inside it. And so now, as I go ahead and do my installation, you'll see here it is. I'm able to see those are the files that are available. I've got a VMDK that can be loaded up to vSphere, a VHD that can be used with AVD, and a VMDK, an MSI, which can be used with Intune. Now let's take a look at how we can actually, I have another package that I had made, how we can actually do this. So I'm going to go ahead and select here. I've got Windows 365, and I've gone ahead and already installed and pushed the MSI down through Intune, and that MSI will be available. And so now, as I can see here, I've got logging into Windows. And what's going to happen is you're going to have that VHD that was distributed with the MSI is going to be kept in a quarantined area. Now we do have, because of Apps on Demand, the Adobe Reader available, and you can see in the start menu, if I search for it, it'll be there. So from an end user perspective, it's basically installed. However, if I go to add remove programs, you'll see it's not installed. So I have a very clean copy of Windows that's running very efficiently, which is the bare minimum to get going, which means that I don't even have the application on the machine. So if there were a vulnerability in that application, it would not be available as a surface attack area. So I'm going to go ahead and launch Adobe Reader. What it's going to do is it's going to virtualize that on demand, delivering that app. And now you can see it virtualizes it and launches it. Again, same user behavior. And if I go to installed apps, it'll be available there. And I'll go ahead and click it. So this is it. This is now installed. So if you imagine if you had 10,000 machines with a vulnerability in it, that surface attack area would be 10,000. If you only had 10 users using it and you're leveraging app volumes, apps on demand, it's only 10 instead of the 10,000. There's many options available for Windows 365. I just showed you the Intune delivery option, which allows you to be able to use that very familiar MSI format and still get the benefits of reduced WinRot, not having to worry about uninstalls, easy packaging that I showed you, and that lowered attack surface that I talked about. But also from an app volumes manager perspective, if you wanted to bring that into play, you can have that capability that I showed you with the markers. Also, you get to dedupe the applications so they're stored on the file share and not taking up precious space on the Windows 365 user drives for each machine. Additionally, you can have a hybrid deployment, and you can take that same value from the App Volumes Manager and you can bring it across Windows 365, Azure Virtual Desktop, and an on-premise environment such as Horizon, and be able to use that across all three environments to have a very hybrid approach. In fact, you can bring it across many different places. And as part of our App Server revision, we continue to bring in app volumes to any solution that helps you to be able to deliver apps in all of these cases. One action to leave you with, go ahead and try it. We have a free trial that's available. We have a capability now, it's published. Volumes is available in the marketplace. We have a private preview, a public preview that's available to you. And we urge you to come try it out and give us your thoughts. I look forward to hearing the excitement around what we've been able to provide to you and your feedback. Thank you so much.